Sky with that, native .4 acceleration if she's in first, and they have the Dober with the native .4 acceleration if she's in 5th through 7th, right? So there are those. The front runner wins out and they win, and there's the backliner is in position and they win. Angle for Lovestruck as well. Like there are very volatile Umas in this game. And you need to see a lot of excels and a lot of secondary excels out of people if they want to be able to keep up with these Umas. Something that can commonly happen when Dober has access to a long enough home stretch is she hits a .4 plus nimble nav, and now she's at .6 acceleration. And other Umas typically just can't bring or can't afford to bring enough acceleration to keep up with that. And if they are, they're relying on Bijin Wit card, which is really going to hurt your career. And also, NSM is, to some degree, pretty unreliable. So you might just be looking at a .2.
Actually, going back to that point you said earlier, with where you're saying that Lovestruck is aiming specifically for those first and fifth, sixth slots for their .4 excels. Do you think that strategy is a result of them needing to win this match by 13 points to get into the playoffs? Are they aiming to get that particularly high score differential against SLS this way?
I hadn't really even considered that until you mentioned it, but you might be right. If they're able to set up their fronts in a way where one of those fronts that they bring gets first place and Dober is able to connect with her moving past a nimble nav and she gets second or overtakes the front even, if Saiyan Sky isn't the front that hits Rod, then they'll probably get the podium slot 1-2. And if they can do that, then they're looking at getting 6 points a game. And if that continues throughout the whole match, that will create the point differential they need. Of course, Nice Nature, she is pretty volatile. She does have that inbuilt NSM, right? Anytime NSM is on the table, even if you're out of position slightly, you can still just excel. It doesn't have the positional requirements, so long as you can be blocked in some way, shape, or form. So Nature could play spoiler in that regard, especially something that can happen is these late surgers might overstep position, but if Nature specifically oversteps position into, say, 4th place and hits NSM, even if Dober has a bit more excelled, Nature is excelling from further up, and then she has that speed unique to close out the game.
We'll see how well that works as a spoiler as we go into the first race here. I believe this is Nakayama 16.
Yep, it was actually initially made as Niigata 16, a bit of an unfortunate mix-up, but as we're looking here, recent discoveries have been that the inner gates are not where you want to be, and that Kitasan Black's going to have to work to get out of there in time to compete with the other frontrunners.
Facing up now, looks like Saiyan Sky will take the first lead here, but with Maruzen straight on her tail, actually she's not passed right here, not needing anywhere close to her just yet in order to pass by. It's looking like it's going to be these two contesting right now. He's not a bit sad sitting in third, not going to be able to hit her ult this game, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Taking a look at the backliners too, you mentioned the heavy focus on those late slot excels. Oh my god, I'm not streaming in Discord. My bad.
No worries. This Twitch screen is thankfully quite lacking on delay here.
Yeah, but as we're heading into the final corner, there come the excels, and this Fantasy Pasa might be in a good spot to do some damage here. Number 7, Ridger, perhaps, getting caught up in the middle, but still surpassing SLS. Getting points on the board is so valuable here. Number 8, Leonine, though, securing that first place for Love. The backliner's not in time. Narita Taishin pushing up. It's going to be Narita Taishin contesting with that El Condor Pasa. Narita Taishin going to be securing second, just barely. Will El Condor Pasa hold on? Oh, it's so incredibly close. But they're on the same team.
That'll be first place for Love, and second and third will go to SLS. That's a 4 free point differential. Maybe not what Love wants to see with their need to win by 13, but a win is a win that will get them at least started.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean, that's just the power of the Saiyan, right? She got Rod, and she just completely ran away with it. Unfortunately, they were not able to get any of their backliners in there. The thing with Lovestruck right now is they have Rudolph and they have Dober. They need those two Umas to both hit if they want to get this 13-point differential realistically. Because the thing with frontrunners is only one of them is going to get that rod. And if it's Saiyan, like we saw, Saiyan is likely going to win the race. But that's not going to get them the 13-point gap alone that they need.
We'll have to see if this next race does any better from. Next is Hakodate 26. This is one of the maps where the Excel Zone starts on that straight, and I'm looking very specifically at that Myra Vega right there.
Yeah, this is the one long map in the draft. It is a spurt map. The delay on C3 is so far that Umas who only have C3 acceleration will likely already be close to their top speed. So these end closers are going to make a huge difference. In this case, it's going to be Taishin. This is one of Taishin's best maps. She has that 0.4 encroaching shadow, not just straightaway spurt. And she should be able to even catch up with the front runners on a map like this, especially because that home stretch is long enough after the final spurt starts.
oh, wait a second. I just thought of something. Because of the points mattering here, there becomes a bit of an oddity in scoring, right? Since the game terminates when one team reaches 25, but you can get a score higher than 25 by having your last win be when you're at like close to 25. So things are gonna get really weird here in terms of the lead being built and maintained. Where winning too early in a race might be a team's undoing.
Yeah, if Lovestruck either needs to completely run away with the game, like if SLS, hypothetically speaking, gets one podium, they are only 3 points at that point away from completely denying Lovestruck's 13-point win. So, as it stands right now, being 4-3, at first glance, Lovestruck has a lead, which is true, but it's not as much as a lead as they want to see. And we're going to have to look at the points after every single one
You
of
have to
these
imagine
races.
right now, SLS might as well be having a 15-4 score right now, and that's not quite a pretty picture when we say it that way.
Yeah.
$25 is the minimum points to win. Minus 13 is 12, right? So it's really that the
Yeah, it's
super
that
lucky
15 to
sleepers
4.
are 9 points away, technically ish, kinda.
No room for errors going to the second game.
On this map, it's really going to be up to that Kita-san to take that first place for Lovestruck if they're going to have anyone win. Rudolph always has potential as well, but we're really going to be keeping an eye on Rudolph. And I'm a little worried they might not be able to get a full sweep here, potentially. But they're off. It looks like they're off to a good start. We see some TTLs coming out. And it looks like it's going to be a struggle between Saiyan Sky and Kita-san. And the rest of the backpack is actually staying pretty close together here. It doesn't look like the end and lates are spreading out too much.
Yeah, it's very valuable that, with the exception of the Smart Falcon, the front runners are controlled by a Lovestruck. So as long as they can get into a good position, any one of them can be the point scorers, but they're going to need more than just one point scorer to make a playoff run here.
Right, and that Kito-san can go off uniquely from first or second. So even if she gets overtaken by Saiyan, that victory cheer will still go off and give her the lead she needs to potentially close this game out. But typically when you're looking at long maps, you're really hoping to see that the backline Umas are more than a screen away. But it looks like some of the backpack is actually just starting to push up right before the spurt zone, so they might be able to keep parity. It looks like actually Rudolph is the one who is just pacing up like crazy here. Daring Strike and Radiant Star out of Ayabe.
Yeah, Rudolph looking good in that number 6 slot, and Symboli Rudolph is starting to take over, starting to accelerate past. Gonna go past the Smart Falcon as well, and that is huge for the team of Lovestruck. Kitasan Black, in the meantime, still looking good. And of course, that Fantasy Pasta, the pick that was not as expected here, also pushing forward. SLS gonna get some points on the board through that Fantasy Pasta. But the question is how many, as Symboli Rudolph is looking to overtake. Nerdy Tyson is chasing, and Love is looking good for the first and second slots. But with the Nerdy Tyson approaching, it gets a little scary. All we see is Kitasan for now, but the second and third places are what really matter here. SLS chasing, and SLS are going to get second. Oh my goodness, that's 2 more points.
And it looked like the Rudolph stammed out there at the end. I saw earlier during the final spurt that Dober actually had Mystifying Murmur taken. I was curious if that was a call because Lovestruck was saying that SLS would understand for these courses, but I think Rudolph actually ended up losing that because she stammed out due to Murmur on the Dober.
I'm pulling up the sheet for the Rudolph right now. Stamina is only at 750, with just 2 white heals. Might have not been enough for that course.
Yeah, even as an end closer, Hakodate 26, there is a bit of downhill, but Radiant Star and 2 white, that's a really close one there.
This is getting a little scary for Lovestruck. Their spot, getting a win here is good, right? 9-5 is good, but the gap is closing very quickly. 5 points in 2 races, where SLS, like at minimum, only need to reach 12 points, and at worst case need to only reach 17. At the very worst case, like this is not a comfortable spot they're in.
Yeah, this is such an interesting game because typically after seeing that, I would say, Lovestruck is in a commanding position. They're doing really well. They could even lose first and third and still be ahead on the score if they get second. But when every point for Lovestruck matters this much, only being up 1 first place is terrifying. Something that can happen, and we have seen in UmaLeague before, is a team will win 5 maps. They'll get first on 5 maps and they'll lose the set because all those other points add up and they're significant. So if you're only getting a first place finish, or a first and third in this case, they're not going to be able to create a big enough point gap to close out the win on top of the 13 points that they need to qualify.
It's always tense when matches are repeatedly trading 4-3s and 3-4s all the time. But with Leicester having to deal with this differential they need to overcome early on, I've never seen a more terrifying game 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. I know I have not. But we're really just getting started here. We're going to go into Chukyo 2000 meter. So, interesting thing about this track, which some people love, some people hate, is it has an enormous downhill. So, every point of weight you have, giving you a better chance at entering downhill mode and just pacing up and overtaking once we get to that like 45% mark in the track will matter. Crazy things can happen. End closers will enter downhill mode and pace up and be in the middle of the pace pack pretty regularly on this track, which makes it really scary. for Lovestruck because, again, they have two ends, they have that front, but if their fronts get overtaken by people pacing up, they might not be able to really take a commanding win here. Again, really looking to see a podium out of Lovestruck at this point, because anything short of that is starting to leak too many points.
All right, Destin. This is a match that actually kind of affects you, right?
I don't think so.
JJ, is he correct?
No, so if SLS wins, then Velocity becomes second in standings and Uma Party becomes third. But if SLS loses, Uma Party becomes second and Velocity becomes third, I believe. And I might have that backwards, but I know that this match does matter for our standings. Now, with that said, third and second both get a bye, so it's kind of half of one, six of another, half dozen another.
Oh yeah, all I knew is we had the head-to-head versus Love and SLS, so I didn't think we cared which one won.
Ooh, but it turns out you do have to care a little bit. But Destin, I'm kidnapping you to cast this one with me a little bit. And on this track, I guess, who are you looking out for as the main contenders for the entirety of the top three?
Well, on this one, you really got to look out for, obviously, the same who's in front. Normally, with Akita-san and a Summer Marzinski, I wouldn't be that locked onto the Saiyan Sky, but she is in front, and if she can just hit some crazy speed-up modes when they try to overtake, and she doesn't. So yeah, anyways, the Dober's going to be really good on this one. Dober can hit that 0.4, as long as she doesn't wide swing. Depends on what her overtake target looks like when she goes into that final corner, and right now she's not even on the screen. Looks like she's in 10th place, so Dober's not going to be doing anything this match. The Taishin as well is a little iffy here because Nemesis is probably going to activate while she's still accelerating, but it could still have a little bit of carryover once she reaches top speed. But the Ayabe is pushing quite far up with the Rudolph not too far behind. It's going to be down to just Kita-san and a couple of those backliners, I think.
Yeah, and importantly for SLS, Ridger with the Fantasy Pasa is pushing up, as well as Rewand with the Taishin, running faster than the front runners. And it looks like the front heavy composition of Lovestruck is coming back to bite them a little bit in terms of placements. Their chosen front runner will be the one getting first place, but the lion's share of the points from
Rudolph?
second and third. Did Rudolph do it? Did Falcon hit?
Yep.
Rudolph from nowhere.
Wait.
Rudolph hit
Oh my
unique.
god, by a neck. Just snuck up at the very end.
That's going to be a 6-1
Rudolph.
going the way of Lovestruck, I believe.
Wait, they only bled 1 point here. Wait, that's huge.
Yeah, Rudolph snuck up with the Behold. She hit Behold at perfect triumphant pulse timing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting because the Ayabe was further ahead than the Rudolph when they hit the late stage, but I
I
mean,
want to see
hey,
what
when you,
happened. We didn't see Rudolph was not in our sights at all during that match.
I saw her on the inner rail, and then I saw the Behold pop up on the right, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought she would not be able to like overtake the Taishin or the Ayabe just because she was a little bit further behind, but when the 0.45 hits,
This may have been what the Rudolph was actually brought in for, compared to the last race. With Chuko's long downhill, compensating a lot for what would otherwise be a stamina deficit, possibly.
Oh, and now with the score being 6-15, it's kind of like we're on an even playing field now. Like both teams have relatively the same amount of points to their playoffs win condition. The match has truly begun.
It's definitely looking a bit more in reach now as we go into Niigata 24. I believe this is also a straightaway spurt bat as well, despite being a medium.
Yes, this is a spurt map on Niigata 24. This is also a completely flat map. There is no downhill here. So it has a very high stamina requirement. it is starting to look like we might be hitting that dream scenario for Lovestruck if they can get another commanding 1-2 on this map. We've really gone from the score looking like, wow, this is a really good win out of Lovestruck. But in reality, I'm not so sure because it's not a big enough point differential. But now they're starting to really pull away. They're already commanding 9 points ahead.
Sorry, I missed when we looked at this Rudolph earlier. I saw the 2 white recoveries, but does she? I assume she has spurt, right?
Uh-oh.
Uh
I don't
oh.
see it.
I don't see it.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah. There's no spurt. So, and maybe that's because of how low her stam actually ended up being. I'm not sure if she took Creek and missed the recuv there, or took some form of stamina card to get a gold recovery, and just didn't complete chain 3, but I don't believe she has the stam to live Niigata 2400.
Yeah, that's probably
Which
true.
is really going to draw into question who's going to be able to win this map. I mean, she definitely doesn't have the stam to live if Dober goes off and gives her that stam debuff.
All right.
Lovestruck might have to rely on their front runners here. Akita-san's still here, and they still do have the Summer Rosen, but is that going to be enough to get enough points?
All right, Tempest.
I don't know. I mean, this is a Taishin map. Taishin and Admire Vega should absolutely be making it to the podium unless they have an awful mid-game experience and that gap between the frontrunners is just too large.
And away we go. Akita-san is getting one of the more outermost gates, and that is going to help her a little bit. Summer Rosen also coming out from the outside as well, so they'll get the advantages of the sideways movement.
Yeah, and we see some of the Umastan procs coming out, fighting for a position in the back, and it actually looks like Taishin is at the front of that back pack. It looks like Dober is going to be completely blocked out from this lobby from Excels. Sometimes that'll happen when an encloser just gets ahead of you and sticks in front. The late surgers are not able to really move up. They have that lower mid-game speed and late-game speed coefficient, so they just can't really make up the distance unless they have a lot of mid-game speed skills proccing at the same time.
Akita-san maintaining that lead, staying behind, but we know which of the two has the better Excel for this particular map. Sitting in the just a little bit behind them is Maru with Falco and El Condapasa sitting a big distance away. Taishin is pushing up, surprisingly. This could be an issue for them if she gets too close to the front rows, and because she'll just be able to run them down.
Yeah, and this is also a N cheer Halo, so she might also have Spurt, and those are position agnostic. So if this Taishin enters this Pace Chaser pack here, she can still pop Encroaching Shadow and just go.
And away they go, going into the Spurt. Akita-san building up that distance. It is seemingly getting bigger and bigger. I don't see the Taishin climbing up particularly fast right now. The gap still seems to be getting wider and wider as we look at it. Ayabe is going to try and make her move as well, but I think she's a bit too far behind for it to be a factor here. Taishin coming up on second, but the gap is not closing. Akita-san is going velocity up, and Akita-san going to steal a deal, but Taishin is going to secure that second. That's 2 points towards SLS.
And I believe the Nice Nature got third. Yeah, so that's 3.
That's a 4-3 for Lovestruck. Not what you want to see right now. SLS getting closer and closer, shutting them out from the playoffs.
Yeah, it's an absolutely crazy scenario. Lovestruck convincing wins map after map, but that gap is closing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Love basically need a podium now, right? Like,
I think they can keep on getting 1-2s if you want to survive and make it to the playoffs. But yeah, it is going to be very tough.
We're close enough. We can map it out. If Lovestruck get just first twice, right? That's 6 points. That's 23, and then 27, right? Love struck 27, but that would be 6 points for Super Lucky. So it would be 15-27. So 15-27 is not enough to win.
So they need at least first and third.
Yeah,
on one?
but they can't. Wait, can they win by? Is it okay if they win by too much? Right now, yes.
Honestly, I hadn't even considered that it counts, like the point differential counts over capping 25.
It does.
Yeah, I hadn't even like thought of that.
Yeah, it's really weird. I
So they have
think
more leeway
Lovestruck,
than
as
I was.
crazy as this sounds, Lovestruck's best case scenario is to get first and third on this map for 5 points to put them at 24 while only giving up 2.
Well,
And of course,
wait
to
a
do the
second.
same thing.
No. Their best scenario is sweeping, and then they just win.
True, their best scenario is a podium, and then it's
Oh,
over.
is this enough points? Yeah, they're only at 9.
Yeah.
Full podium does actually close it out.
So they do have a chance to just end it right here and now, but can they do it on Sapporo 15?
Yeah, even if they get just first and second, it's going to be 25-10, right? So that's going to be enough points. And going into Sapporo 1500, this map is notorious for being super frontline favored. So this is definitely not the map you want to find yourself on if you're SLS and you're playing for this point differential game when Lovestruck is running 3 front runners.
People who play Umamusume know that Nakayama has one of the shortest tourist home stretches in the game. Well, Sapporo is even shorter, so that's going to be great for the front runners here.
Yeah, Sapporo notoriously only has a 250-meter home stretch, which is absolutely insignificant compared to some other maps that have even double the distance to close. Typically, when you're looking for a good home stretch for your late and ends, you want to see around 400 meters to really close that out. That's when it starts becoming really late and end favored. But this map is not one of those at all.
All right, Destin, it's time. Me and you, potential final race of the regular season. Okay, no? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, yes then.
Yeah. I'm just I was looking. I had to look up the Excel zone. I forgot it was gonna pop up when the race started. Because this is another situation where that's Dober should still have acceleration here. It's gonna pop a little bit early, but like she has plenty of carryover, right? So even for Love, if some of their backliners do shit the bed, as long as Dober can stay up in at least like 7th, I think they can at least get third and first. I think best case scenario, Saiyan Sky hits Rod, and then they just have Dober or Rudolph run up into third or second. But obviously, with all these mid-race velocity uniques on the Sora Marzinski and the Kita-san, it's gonna be a little hard for Saiyan.
What do you think the win conditions here are for the Super Lucky Sleepers other than that, though? Because right now, they need a lot more than just one Uma to get into the top 3 to have a good shot at it.
Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate for a lot of the backliners, though. They're still going to have Redshift. Redshift will still be good. Dober will still be good. Dober, both of those aren't going to have as much carryover as like the innate uniques. But I think they're probably just going to be looking for NSM off of the Nice Nature. If they can somehow squeeze that, she's definitely not going to hit it in this position. But and then again, the Taishin, if it procs like frame 1, she can have carryover with the unique, but it might just end up procking in the middle of the Excel zone again.
Oh my goodness, Leo 9 has done it. Angling and scheming activated for the Sand Sky to try and close, but there is the Fantasy Pasa running extremely fast. Might be able to steal first place. The final stretch is so short, but is it possible for the Fantasy Pasa? Is it possible for SLS to get it done here? It's getting closer and closer, but it looks like the Sand Sky has secured it. And also the Nice Nature in second?
Yep, Nice Nature in second, and Rudolph, I could not tell who it was. It was between Rudolph and, was that Taishin? No, it was Pasa. Sorry.
Yeah,
And Pasa did get the third.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for SLS.
That's a 4-3 for Lovestruck here, and that puts SLS at 12. That is very, very dangerous. I think they'll technically win from here if they can get a clean sweep on the podium for the next race, but otherwise, that's gonna be it.
Okay, so
This is
Yeah, we need a
this
map.
exact point total is so crazy because if Lovestruck win the match here by getting only second, they are out because they won't have enough points because SLS will take 5 points in that case and there won't be that 13-point lead.
oh no. Oh, this is getting scary.
Okay, what if they only get first? Then that's 27-15. That's still only 12 points.
Oh
right?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovestruck need to win big or don't not win at all here.
If they get 1-2, I believe they survive to playoffs. It'll be 29-13, I think.
Well,
Yes.
they can't even get just like 1 point here because if they get 1 point, SLS gets 6 points, right? And
Yes.
and in the very worst case scenario of a team getting 30 points, if you have 18, that's still only a 12-point gap. Wait, all the scenarios are covered
this is
here.
like the final map.
Yeah, this is actually the final map.
This is the tiebreaker before the tiebreaker. If we see anything other than Lovestruck taking first and second place,
For first and third, they also are good, I think. I just did the quick math.
is it first and third as well?
First and third would be 28-14. That's 14-point difference.
Okay.
So first and third or first and second, but nothing else.
Yeah, and full podium, of course, but
Of course.
So that means it basically all comes down to Sapporo 20. We're going back to the same race course, adding another 500 meters and seeing what happens.
Oh boy.
Sapporo 2000 is another completely flat map. It is a bit higher stand requirement than you would expect. Not so high that I'm really expecting too many people to die here, but it is a C3 map. Last map we saw angling and scheming. We saw Dober hit. It looked like Dober kind of got blocked out at the end, unfortunately. But, if we see that angling and scheming and we see someone else from Lovestruck hit, they can close the game out. This is the tiebreaker before the tiebreaker. The craziest part about this is we could go to map 7 without the map being technically decided in terms of who gets the win and who gets the loss. But at that point, the run is over for the season.
I'm calling my shot. Kita-san first, Rudolph third, Essa and Lovestruck go to playoffs. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones.
Do you believe in Melt Up?
It's going to take a miracle like that for Lovestruck to make it through. We saw how they performed in the similar Sapporo 15, and we saw that El Condor and Nice Nature were able to secure the podium positions. So what's going to happen when you give them the C3 map?
All right, JJ, I'm kidnapping you this time.
Okay.
This is it.
This is it. This is the big one. As we go into Sapporo 2000, fall, firm, sunny, and right-handed. This is the map. We have seen that firm course menace out of a lot of Umas here, and that extra speed is probably going to matter in this map. The home stretch here is not that friendly. It is a Sapporo map, but there is a bit more time just because it's a 2K from the start of acceleration to the end of the race.
This
is a front favored map in my opinion, but we're gonna have to see what happens here.
This is for the season, and Lovestruck have drafted the fronts. They have control of 3 out of 4 of the front slots, and they are looking good, especially with Melta being in that outer gate, gonna swing in, and hopefully for Lovestruck be in that first place position. Summer Marzensky this time, the one taking the lead, but the Kita-san gonna pace up a little bit, get the velocity skill, and overtake.
Yeah, and I'm really curious if this Falcon can play spoiler here and maybe deny one or both of the front runners, but it looks like she's solidly in 4th place right now. She's pushing up a little bit into 3rd, but unless she has a lot of mid-race skills to go here or paces up, it looks like she's not going to be denying that rod. And if we're talking about Kita, you know, she has that victory cheer and she's going to take that with her straight into Rod, which should be able to secure 1st place on this map. But as I say that, Taishan and Rudolph are both pacing up. They're both pretending to be late surgers in this pack. Only a few lengths between them and the back of the pace pack, that solo Pasa pace.
Oh, it's so scary. Lovestruck need first and something. Melt Up, I believe, has secured
NSM.
1st place. Oh my goodness, NSM coming through. And that nature is here to ruin the dreams, ruin the hopes of love. SLS is looking incredibly good at the moment. All the backliners converging and looking to take over. That's going to be it. Narita Taishan overtakes. Summer Marzensky's out of the picture. Although Melt Up has secured 1st place. That is all that they will secure. The backliners are here. It's Nice Nature. It's Narita Taishan. It's SLS making their way into playoffs.
Absolutely incredible. Frame 1 NSM from that nature. She does not need to be in any sort of position with that skill. She just needs to be blocked, and she was blocked at just the perfect time to really go off. And again, it's an absolutely crazy match. This is 2nd, 3rd. This is going to give them 3 points, bumping them up to a final score of 15-27, which is going to be 12-point differential. 1 point from Lovestruck. 1 point shy of making it out.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh, the script could not have been written any better.
What a heartbreaking set for Lovestruck. 1 point away, and they would have been able to continue on with the season, but it's going to be curtains for them here today, unfortunately. Super Lucky Sleepers moving on. Congratulations to them.
They won the battle, but not the war. It's over, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tragic. It really, like, I wonder if they're really just like gonna be sitting there thinking like the all-seeing eyes. Did it throw?
Yeah, I'm really curious because that Rudolph did stand out really late into, I believe, Hakodate 26. I believe she just stand out in the last like 100 meters or so. And All Seeing Eyes is a 3% stamina drain, I believe. And that much distance she should have survived if she actually had that much stam remaining, which would have actually been the 1 point differential they needed.
Holy shit. Oh, orange stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on stream. What's up, man?
No swearing. No swearing.
Welcome to the stream.
My
So
bad. My chief.
Rewand, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm really, I'm really excited, I guess, because we're in now. Oh my god, there was so much doom and gloom when we saw the Kita-san.
Yeah, actually, take me through that a little bit with the team compositions, right? Because your team is so backliner heavy, and they're just controlling all of the fronts basically. I guess, how did you approach draft?
Realistically, for this type of draft, we noticed that they were going for like spurt maps, I believe, and we mainly spurt maps and then a couple like one corner free. So we thought we would just also go like backline heavy, and then we have like me and Marma play up in the front so that like if we have at least one front contesting the front because there's like one major excel for fronts. And then I was able to play Pace Pasa because we chose mainly redshift maps, and I was willing to gamble on neck and neck if I had neck and neck, but head-on's good enough. Condor's Fury and redshifts to try to overtake the dying fronts to try to at least aim for maximum podium percentages, basically.
Wow. And Ridger, how are you feeling as the points were stacking up? right before this race?
I mean, it was very nerve-wracking because it was like we could never like catch up to the front. So it was basically like every map they basically had like 4 points. So internally, it's basically just can our like pasta hit, can our end closers hit to like at least get second, third, and hopefully live through the series like a cockroach. Basically, just get enough, and just I think one of the maps where Rudolph got like third, that the second map, I think I was like extremely stressed out because that gave them a big lead, but thankfully our Taishin rewound, clutched up and got second, so it wasn't that horrific. But the all seeing Idober wasn't something we expected, so hats off for them. Honestly, that was a very evil strat, but like you got to do what you got to do with like everything at risk on this match.
Yeah, it was a high risk, high reward play, and we were talking about that right before you guys got pulled in. Is like we don't know if that Dober killed her own Rudolph on the
Yeah, because it
Hakodate.
looked like Rudolph on that long stammed out like less than 100 meters before the finish line and just barely lost that second place, which would have been that 1 point differential if she had survived.
Yeah, like honestly, it was a gamble, and honestly, I respect the effort because it was definitely a team conscious decision to try to like overspam and try to like survive the evil debuff. But at the end of the day, like you can't predict race RNG. Like I don't know if the Rudolph like let's say rushed, let's say like something like that happened, or something where the Rudolph like dueled themselves to death. Like you can't really predict that because that's just race RNG.
Yeah,
And
sure.
honestly, I think we were able to survive most of the All Seeing Eye, unironically, thanks to a couple lucky Radiant Star gambles, not gonna lie.
All right.
Well,
Well, is there anything else you want to say before we disband?
I have one thing I want to say. We've lost by 1 point twice now, so to make it through by 1 point is just really incredible.
Yeah.
You did. You had those 2 games, 1 point differentials, and that was against you, which put you into this place in the first place. But at the last second, you make up that 1 point differential, and you just squeak by right into playoffs.
Once again, congratulations. You'll be our seed number 6 going into the playoffs, joining that
Wait.
prestigious group as we
Seed 5.
see
five.
which team finally comes out on top.
Wait, seed 5 or seed 6?
I think
We-
seed
we-
6 based on the differentials.
We'll let you guys deal with that math. We'll look at it
Yeah.
before playoffs.
Oh, I'm looking at it and it looks like you're right. But that'd be Asian Flash. Fifth seed, not 6th seed. Let's go.
Thank you very much, guys, for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the clutchest non-win in Umamusume history.
wait, I have a second congratulations. I don't know if we've like fully ironed this out, but I'm pretty sure we've ironed it out. That means you guys don't have to fight for your spot next season.
Oh my gosh, I think that is the biggest reward of them all, actually.
As long as enough of the team stays together.
True. As long,
Yeah.
as long as you meet your requirements that
Yeah.
definitely have not been ironed out yet, but I think we have locked in the playoff teams are good.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
All right. Well, anything left to say before we actually end the stream?
UmaLeague playoffs coming soon. Look forward to it.
Well, I mean, most of playoffs I think is unfortunately not going to be streamed.
No. We're figuring that out actually.
Okay.
I might be kidnapping Dropletto.
All right. Cool.
We'll see. But other than that, we've run out of things to talk about. Congratulations again to SLS for making playoffs in an ending that was closer than you could ever script. And And yeah, see you whenever next time. Goodbye.